Good morning! Tell you what a rough night last night was. After I got the video posted, Lydia was still wide awake, and that was like 12:30, and I couldn't, we put her in bed, but she's just sitting there yapping. She just could not sleep, and because she was yapping, she woke up Mary, and I'll tell you, Mary does not take well to being woken up in the morning, or, well, in the middle of the night. And we ended up getting Mary up, feeding Mary, putting her back to bed, and then she cried. I think she fell back to sleep, or maybe I fell asleep, and then I woke up at 1:15, and she was crying, and I got up. Turns out that she, where's her blanket? Right
there.
Turns out she did not have her lovey.
Was there?
Oh, here it is. You tossed it over here. She did not have her lovey blanket, and she couldn't sleep. So, I don't know. What time do we get to finally fall asleep? 1:30?
Yeah, 1:30.
1:30. One of the things I found with having several children is that having the youngest person capable of doing the job do the job and be a helper. It really keeps that child busy. It helps you. You're training them. Uh-oh, hang on, we got a leak. We got a leak here. Hold it, Lydia. Okay, so we just had a little bit of a mess. Yeah, I know I spilled. This blender, you have to put the blade in first and then the rubber ring. And sometimes the kids don't assemble it properly. And so when that happens, a mess ensues. And that's what happened this morning. We've got a mess, so I'm trying to clean that up. Yeah, I will pour that in just a minute. No, you guys didn't put the, whatchamacallit, the rubber ring in the right spot, and so it just leaked all over the place. Okay, so let's try this again. Milk, ice cubes, vanilla, back into there. I'm just heading outside to work on planting my flowers. Let's close the door, honey. Come on out. Let's see if I can get these. Watch your foot. Is it your foot? There we go. Gonna see if I can get these flowers planted this morning. Gentle, gentle. Oh, so pretty. Okay, now we're gonna put the plastic in. Got it? Hold it with your other hand. Point it up this way, Lydia. You can see Mommy. Look in this screen. Point it up towards Mommy. Can you see Mommy in there?
Look. Yeah, Mommy.
Point it up like that. See? There's Mommy. No running with scissors.
It down.
There we go.
Camera.
Take pictures, Lydia. What I've done with my planters is I don't know where I can buy this stuff. It may be very well at Lowe's or Home Depot. I don't know, but this was in a nice shape, so I didn't want to go out and buy new. So what I've done is I've lined the basket with plastic. This is just a garbage bag that I had used. It had some holes in it already, so I don't feel bad using it for this purpose. I actually added, you can see, I added some more holes to it, so if there's too much water, it can drain down through it. But I lined the basket with these garbage bags, and then I filled it up with compost from my garden, and then I'm going to finish it off with potting mix here from last year. I'm going to toss that in to keep the soil nice and light, and then I'm going to start planting my flowers. These geraniums were the ones I had inside, and I wintered over. In fact, these plants I've had, or at least cuttings of the original plants, for, let's see, John is 9. So 9.5 years I've kept these plants. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to put cuttings of them inside my baskets for the porch, and then I'm going to go ahead and replant these because they're just getting really tall and leggy from the winter. Where are you going, Lydia? Looks like the kids have gotten very creative with the parachute. That's their jungle gym toy. And it looks like they're trying to make a tent. Here's one of the baskets. And I'll show you the other one. And here is the second basket. I just gotta water them. Now I'm gonna, looks like the weather's pretty well done with the really cold temperature. So I'm gonna move my orange tree and then my lemon tree over here. There's my orange and my lemon tree. And I'm gonna move it outside where I can start getting a lot of sun. I decided that it was such a gorgeous day that I was gonna operate on this section of the house. I showed you this 2 days ago and told you that this was part of the Snail's Pace Challenge. Let me get out of the sun here. And this was all, it had the couple slabs, the 6 slabs that had the old foundation on it, and it just had a lot of gunk on it. So today I took about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and the kids helped me and we pulled out all the stuff, and now it's ready to get edged, some topsoil brought in, and then new plants put in. Look who just got up. Say hi, Mary. Mary slept 2.5 hours this morning, and I think it was because I had all the kids outside with me. The house was quiet and she could sleep because there was no noise. So she's actually really happy, and I'm gonna go take her and feed her lunch right now. Right? You hungry? Well, a couple years ago we put in this fence here because we wanted to help keep the kids in the backyard and not have them run towards the driveway. And we have this small patch of grass here. Ever since we put up the fence, this grass has annoyed me. It's gotten weedy. I don't like it. It just screams it needs flowers. So this year I bought a pack of wildflower seeds from Gurney Seed Company, and Art is just quick helping me turn.
And Peter.
And Peter are helping me turn the dirt before Art goes back to work. And I'm going to have John, I don't know where John went off to, but I'm going to have John help take out the sod, and then I'm going to go to the compost and start bringing up some good compost up here, and we're going to put in the seeds. So we got all the sod lifted out, and as usual, a pile of rocks. And we're going to throw some compost from our compost pile into this, and then I'm going to start planting. And my husband reminded me that I had calla lily bulbs from last year that I wintered over in the basement, so I'm going to put some of those in too.
No. For the bulbs.
1, 2, 3, right near the back row because I'm going to have the wildflowers in the front. 4, 5. This is what I did. I took just an apple basket and lined the bottom with newspapers, and then I just laid these in a single layer, did another layer of newspaper, and then I put more calla lily bulbs there. And other than maybe one that died, and it was just a skinny little one, they all look great.
Planting?
They're just wildflowers. This is hummingbird and butterfly annuals. What you doing, Peter?
Planting beans.
Oh, did you plant a lot?
Yeah.
I just finished planting beets and spinach, so it's been 2 weeks and 1 day. And Pete, show over here. These are my spinach. Not too close. These are my spinach from 2 weeks ago. And then, oh, what's your knee, honey? These little guys are beets that are just coming up. So I planted a second crop here, and those will be ready 2 weeks later. Dinner tonight, I'm making some Italian chicken. This was my mom's recipe, and she used to make it every Sunday for dinner. And it's one of the simplest recipes I know. And how she made it is a little bit different than how I made it. It's still the same concept, but I don't want all the mess with all the different dishes. So all I did was grease the pan. I poured on some Italian dressing on top of it, and then I just flipped them over, made sure both sides were coated, and then I tossed on some breadcrumbs. And because these are plain breadcrumbs, I just put some of my Watkins pasta and pizza seasoning mix on it because I want the flavor. But if you have Italian style breadcrumbs, you can just use that. And bake this in the oven for about 45 minutes, maybe up to an hour, depending on how thick your breasts are, at 350 degrees in your oven. And it's one of the most moist, most delicious chicken dishes that I know how to make. And it's so simple to make.
Well, we got 8 eggs for the day. Usually we keep them in the basket until the end of the day, and then I just rotate them through. Right now we have 4 or 5, about 5 dozen eggs, and just put the new ones in here. And looks like we're running out of room. We do have a lady who buys eggs from us, so it'll probably take her a dozen, so I'll get her some eggs here. Usually we try to give, when we sell them, we don't sell a lot of them, but when we do, we try to give them good clean eggs, so try to give her a dozen.
How do you make sure that the eggs stay clean?
You keep hay in the box. So you keep enough hay in there, usually they stay clean. If they don't have hay, then they'll poop in the box or something nasty like that, and so that makes a mess. So you just try to keep the boxes full of hay, and usually they keep clean.
It's been quite the day. A lot of physical labor. I usually don't do that much, particularly moving all those large rocks. So I'm gonna call it a night, and we'll see you tomorrow.